Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a different video, this time in the Su-25T, and I'm here because a viewer named Blindside asked me if I could do a video on how to actually attack a area with an enemy that fires back and not just dump targets. So I have set up some targets. This first one here has 2 Vulcans, 4 trucks that are going to move along this road, moving up here and up to this road separation, or vej, road Y as we call it in Danish, and you can see why, or you can see why. There is, as I said, 2 Vulcans, a Gepard, and one more thing. This is a pure AAA. And the next target here, there are 3 Stinger manpads over here, and here at Senaki and Kutaisi. There is a Rapier and a Roland. I believe the Rapier is the first one and the Roland is the next one. And all the way up here at Sukhumi Babushar we have a Hawk missile battery. So I'm going to show you how I would make an actual attack on those targets. My plan is that I will arm up with the 2 cache car 58U and go up and kill the radars up here at Sukhumi Babushar, because then I have the biggest and heaviest weapons off my back. Then on my way back I will go over here and kill those with vehicles, and I will also try killing some of the targets with the rockets. So this will be a let's say usable and practical video on how to take out targets. If I can fire the car 58 early enough, I may go back and take the route here in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing important to note is that there is a convoy moving, as I said, with 2 Vulcans and 4 trucks. They will be moving and I have to find them on the road. And there is a Gepard and I believe it was a Vulcan here also. So first of all I'm gonna load up my weapons, rearm, repair, and for the 58 I need my Phantasmagoria pod and these 2 big boys. Add to ground missile, the Vicker, and for the rockets I'm gonna use the S8 Com. And I actually may take, let's take, oh, I'm too heavy. I'm really heavy. I need the fuel. So yeah, this is the loadout I'm gonna take, and let's see if we can have, yes, the jamming parts. Yes, I would be 99 kilograms overweight, but yeah.
Перезарядка по плану. Принял.
The fuel is already loaded. I have 3,770 kilograms of fuel. And then S8, S8, and jammers.
Командир, оружие подвешено.
And we're gonna call up for the ATC.
Дружинник, сотый, запуск.
1-0-0. Дружинник. Запуск разрешаю.
So, as I said, my plan is to go for waypoint number 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 146 kilometers. That means I have plenty of time to get great altitude. And I need to be careful because I do not remember the range of the Hawk missiles.
Дружинник, сотый, руление.
1-0-0. Дружинник. Разрешаю руление на полосу 3-1.
The planned altitude is 2,000 meters, but I'm gonna go up as high as I can. And the speed is gonna be as fast as possible. Chirp the car 58. And I have full flaps.
Дружинник, сотый, взлет.
1-0-0. Дружинник. Взлет по готовности. Отход по схеме на 300. По давлению 759,24. Взлет запрещаю. 1-0-0. Дружинник. Взлет по готовности. Отход по схеме на 300. По давлению 759,24.
I'm most likely gonna use the entire runway because I'm so heavy. Let's see. 200. 250. Go back on the stick. 270, 80. Oh, nice. Gears up. And full flaps up. Trim back. And autopilot on the route mode. Yes, she's very heavy. I need to be careful because I'm sending, climbing back up. Now I need to be careful of my speed because she's climbing pretty high, or rather pretty much. So there you see, already been picked up by the Hawk search radar. I'm gonna go to air to ground mode, healing, and there is the radar. And I know how far there is to the waypoint because I use my HSI, 138 kilometers. I'm gonna override or turn off the autopilot. Lock that target. And gonna use attitude, hold on the autopilot. So right now I can launch my car 58 at roughly 38 kilometers, but as I go faster and higher, I'll be able to launch them much sooner. And that is actually not my target. There, to the left, I saw that on the HSI, that that it didn't match up. So now I'm heading towards waypoint 5. I now know that it is the most likely the Rapier or Roland radar that is picking me up, and I know now that this dot here, this radar source at 50 degrees to my right, is now either the Roland or the Rapier, and they are a short range radar. So all I'm trying to do now is to gain speed and altitude. I'm approaching 3 kilometers, and right now I'm 100 kilometers roughly from the target, or from the source I have locked. As you can see in the HUD, the maximum range is slowly coming up. Right now it is at 52 kilometers or so. And I want to turn on my ECM and my DSM. And the game plan here is that I will approach the target as far as I can until I can launch the missiles, and then I will go most likely for the Rapier or Roland. If the Hawk missiles are firing at me before I can get within range, I may have to go low. Or there's one more possibility, that is to simply drain them dry of Hawk missiles. I believe that a Hawk battery only have 3 missiles, so it is only, in quotation, 3 times I need to avoid the missile. So that is my plan. That will be a lot better than getting in too close. And don't forget that at the same side, Hawk battery, there's also Vulcans for close-in protection. Angle of attack is fine. It is at 9 degrees. Radar still haven't locked me. I'm just on the search radar, and it is a medium range search radar. So right now, at this moment, I'm going through my attack plane, and I know that little island down there. That island has 3 Stinger manpads. So if I need to evade a Hawk missile, I do not want to go inland. Or if I do, I want to first go south and then aim for that bay or city be south of that city, because if I go north I may also run into 3 stingers and they will not give me any warning of firing. As you can see, right now maximum range is at 60 kilometers. So I'm getting closer and closer. And I'm at 85 kilometers away. My plan is to fire 1 Cache 58 against each radar down there. So, and I will fire them within 5 seconds of each other. So I hope that I at least get 1 hit. 80 kilometers away. Jammers are on. And if I need to evade those missiles, I can use my chaff. And as you can see, now I'm past that island. Therefore, new plane. I can now evade the Hawk missiles by moving inland, as long as I do not move south. If I need to crank over, I will aim for that river inlet there or there. That river there or that river there. That is what I'm going to aim for. And looks like there's a bit of hilly terrain in there, so close to be within range, almost 6 kilometers up. Angle of attack is 11 degrees, speed is holding. And disengage autopilot. All I want to do now is just to maintain level flight. I am within launch range and disengage autopilot because it starts oscillating, and I want to wait a few seconds. I do not want to fire immediately. I do not need to do that. I have time. Time is on my side. And I see there's 2 radar sources. That is fine. I can go through the attack in my head. Unlock that, unlock that. I want to give it a few more kilometers. And now I know that roughly 5.5 kilometers give me 60 kilometers range at 450 kilometers per hour. Okay, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1. Next launch. 3, 2, 1. And they are out of the map. They are no longer part of the equation, or I will ignore them because they cannot reach me. So therefore they are not a threat to me. I can now ignore them and go for the rapiers. The rapiers and rodent are a much higher threat to me. And they are pinging me right now. That is nice because that means I can lock them and find them. I do not need to search for them. They have revealed their positions to me. That is absolutely great. So their strength is that they can see me from afar. My strength is that they can. And go to EO. As you can see on the squall have locked their positions. All I need to do now is to turn off the Phantasmagoria, and I have my either my rockets or my Vicha. And of course I will use my Vicha. The rockets will be used on the convoy and on the manpads. Fuel is good. 2,900 kilogram. And I actually do not care if I hit any of the targets at the Hawk battery. As I said, they are no longer a threat. And I need to go to waypoint 4. And I can't change that right now, but I know thanks to the Phantasmagoria pod, they are roughly 45 kilometers away. So I have plenty of time to set up a battle plan. And there, yes, if I need to evade anything, I need to want to go along that ridge over there. That can give me cover. See, on the radar, the medium range radar no longer pings me, and I do not believe they are in my blind side. I believe that I have killed them, or they have turned off their radar. You do not know which one it is until you have actually literally eyes on. And there's the next radar. They are 2 airports, and they are right now 34 kilometers away roughly, and I can turn off my Phantasmagoria. Change this to my Vega, and there the battery is. I believe that I placed a Gepard, 3 or 4 Gepards at this target area and the next. I do not remember if I did it at both. I did it at least one of them. So increase speed a bit. And as we know, we can use the Vega at from 10 kilometers if we have speed and altitude on our side. There's the airport, 23 kilometers away. I'm slowly gonna throttle down. I want to be in complete control of this, and yes, there's the launcher there. It is the launcher I have locked. Air brakes out and slowly descending. Putting the aiming paper within the squall head, the seeker sensors. Trimming to maintain this descent. Air brakes out so not to overspeed, and I'm watching the target area for any SAM launches. I do not see any yet, and I just want to fire one Vega and see how they react to it. And as you can see, the runway is between me and the target. Therefore, if there is a anti-air aircraft position there, that anti-aircraft position will be closer to me than my target is. And I need to be aware of that. And just at the same range. Manual popping flares. 5, 4, 4, 3. Splash. Air brakes in. Throttle up. Lasers off. Maintaining eyes. And Throttle back. Flares, flares. Throttle back. Throttling up. Phew! Saved by... See, we still have hydraulics in the engines. Saved by the DSM. Phew! So, we know that they are very much alive. We got the radar, but that was only the radar. I'm turning on the alien pod again. Turning off the squall. I want to head for this target. Why? Just because. Need to get some altitude. Squall is on. Alien is off. But since I got a warning from that launch, it was radar guided. So for me it looked like to be heat seeking or thermal. It was not, it was radar guided, therefore I need to pop chef instead of anything else. Kilometers away. Some people are so good at recognizing the air defense unit that they know if there is 3 seconds between each beep or each ping, they know approximately which air defense unit it is. I am definitely not that good. Slowly descending because I do not want to get into the clouds. Air brakes out. Plenty of fuel. 2,500 kilograms. $15 kilometers. And I believe that I will use yeah. And right now I want to turn to the left. I'll break away to the left and ready to pop flares. Kilometers. Air brakes in or off. Flash. Brake off. And I want to press the countermeasures continuously because I do not know if there's any man pads. And I want to go low as I dare, and if I need to go lower, I will do that. That is fine. Let's see if I got the radar. If something is smoking. Yes, it looks like something is smoking over there. But I do not want to get any closer to that airport because I do not know what they have. And I want to keep an eye on them until I'm completely certain that I'm outside man-pad range. If I see a launch now, I know that it is a IR guided because no radar is pinging me. So I know that if I see a missile launch or SAM launch, I need to pop flares. And that is the radar over there. Helium pod on. That is the Roland, most likely. And as you can see, I have it locked. Helium off. Climbing to gain altitudes. That also means that I have altitude to spare if I need to evade, and I want to evade to the right. And it is interesting to see how far away that convoy is. That convoy is not that far from this airport. And I do not remember which button I had for the launch override. One thing you can do on the run-in is to press the countermeasures continuously to preemptive flare and chaff launches. Air brakes out, climbing. Trimming. And I can't see anything for the sun glare. Yes, I'm gonna turn right. There's a small hill there that can help me. And plenty of building and trees and good stuff. Launch. I'm popping flares. Splash. Lasers off. Air brakes in. Full throttle. Radars in the most likely in the dead space. No. Still popping flares just to be sure. Throttle back. And it looks like I got the radar. That means that the missile is now deaf, dumb and blind. And there is nothing to guide the missile, and therefore they will not use that missile unless that system has a optical backup system. And as with the other airfield, I will maintain a healthy distance to it. Initiate a level flight. And I'm ready to press flares if I see any launches. But I know that the runway is approximately 2 kilometers long and the effective range of man pads is not that far away, so I should be pretty safe. Now I'm gonna change to nav mode, and I'm gonna change to waypoint 2. No. I'm gonna change to waypoint. Where is it? 1, 2. Yes. Waypoint 2. That is I believe that is the island. Yes, it is. That is the island with the man pads. Since the infantry is very hard to spot, since I do not have the mercury thermal port, I have a rough idea from my briefing where the infantry are. Therefore, I will use my COM rockets for that. And since they are infantry and this is high explosive anti-tank fragmentation rockets, I do not have to be precise. I just have to be within the general area. And I can tell you that if a 80mm rocket with high explosive anti-tank fragmentation warhead exploded close to me, I would think twice about standing up. So I want to make a lineup approximately as they are positioned. They are positioned. Oops. Sorry, they are positioned roughly there, there, and there. Therefore, my attack heading will be that way. And just for safety, I will be popping flares as I do the run-in. Unless I can just throw the rockets, kind of lofting them, just the opposite way. I think I will try that. Right now I'm 15 kilometers away. That is a bit too far off. And I know that the range of the Stingers is not that much. So I believe it is a maximum of that 3.5 kilometers. So I'm 10 kilometers away now. I could turn on my squall now to get a better view, but I don't think I can see any of the man pads. And I'm very aware of SAM launches now. If I see a SAM launch, I pop flares and I dive down to the left. And I'm gonna do a continuous run-in right now, waiting for impacts, 6 kilometers away. Oh. And I want to be careful with the full throttle right now, because that will lure in the Stingers, and I'm keeping my eyes on that at all times. So I know that 10 kilometers is much too far away, or 8 kilometers is much too far away for the rockets. 6 kilometers is much better. And I now know that trees are less than 55 meters tall. if you have nerve of steel, you can slowly creep in on them, just circle them, and provoke a launch, and then note where that launch came from and dive in. But there's 3 man pads. I believe I got 1 or 2 of them. Let's try. And I want to have a bit more altitude. ESM is on. Bit less throttle, ready on the flare button. I do not have my hands on the throttle right now. I have them on my flare button. And I'm gonna turn away right now. Let's do a bit closer run. I need to gain a bit more altitude. Let's see with water. 1600 kilograms of fuel. Throttling back. Trying to provoke a launch 2.5 kilometers up, and that means that the slant range, the range directly between them and me, is a bit longer, so I'm on the very end of their effective range. But you know, it is AI, they don't always use their brain. Well, some of them don't have any. So if I see a launch now, I throttle all the way back, dive to the right, and pop flares. No launches. So right now I'm going to fly to the waypoint 1. That is where the convoy came from, and there is at least 1 Gepard. So maybe I got all of them with the rocket and cannon. And I need to be a bit careful now, because the Gepards and the convoy's route is down here below me.
1500.
But I do not know how far they are right now. But as the Gepard has a radar on, I will get a warning. So bit off on the throttle, and the Gepard's waypoint or steer point 1 now is at the famous Cross airfield over here, and that is actually a real airfield nowadays. If you go into Google Maps and look for that, you'll see that it's the real airfield. The airfield that is, where is it, over here somewhere, no longer exists. That airfield has been bulldozed over. So it is a bit funny that they used that airfield has been bulldozed over. while the cross airfield is used. It makes no sense, but hey, probably something to do with politics, and therefore it, as a rule, do not make any sense. Since I know that the targets are at that cross airfield, I can turn on my squall, slow down, ground stabilize, zoom in, and voila, I see a target. So now I can just slowly move in, and I need to be careful because that convoy is using the road down here, and I'm at 2 kilometers. But again, I do not know how far out they are, so I just want to maintain a proper distance. Right now I'm 13 kilometers away from that airfield. There it is. Air brakes out. Reacquiring the target. There she is. And there is the search radar from the Gepard. See? That thing is messing up. There it is. It was locked in on the fixed emplacement. They set you instead. Splash. And we can take that set you now. If I only had the rockets, you can see that it is not that dangerous. I have most luck with rockets against Gepards coming in from a very steep dive. That way my rockets is hitting the ground at a very tight pattern. And also the Gepard seems to have a hard time hitting you the steeper down you're coming. So let's go alongside this road, and now we know that the Gepards will turn on their radar at roughly 10 kilometers, and I spot targets down there. Is that targets or trees? I do not know. So the enemy will automatically warn us when we approach them. Therefore we do not need to be that vigilant, but of course we do, but they will give us a warning, and because it is AI, they are so stupid that they will use the radar, even though that is more to our advantages than theirs. If I were the Gepard, I would use optical. Oh, there they are on the train. That was just the train. Phew. And I still have my ECM and DSM on because you just never know. And yes, I want to be up at altitude. Roughly 2.5 kilometers. And no, the targets ain't easy to see, but that is reality. And I have civilian traffic on, so just because the targets are moving on the road, or the vehicles are moving on the road, does not mean that they are targets. And now I need to remember which way they were moving. I believe they moved this way. Altitude 1600. I want to gain a bit more altitude. If I only had the guns against the Gepards, I could do that also, but I would be more lucky than skilled, because I would fire just outside his range. Preferably, I would be banking away and egressing the second he fires. Altitude 2 kilometers, that is good. If there is a mod that simulates binoculars, I would love that. Yes, I know there is the zoom functions, but I want a realistic one that is instant zoom to one level and have that binocular shadow kind of thing. That would be nice. And I want to climb a bit more. I use the autopilot override because I want to use the return to level flight once I'm at the altitude I desire. And I'm in clouds, so that means I need to descend a bit. I need to come down a bit again. And where that airfield there's that airfield, so it is around here. That the convoy is. It could be that I made some mistake in the mission editor, but now you know how to do it, and that is actually it is not that hard. Just need to prioritize your targets, and you, as I said in previous lessons, always use the enemy's advantage to your advantage. Yes, he can see you from very far away, but so can you, and you can home in, zero in within a meter or two on his signal. So if he can see you from 60 kilometers away, you have locked on him 60 kilometers away. It is just like tracers. Tracers works both ways. So does radar signals. It also works both ways. Therefore, a powerful radar in a fighter is not necessarily a good thing. Because if you can see the enemy can also see you. And I'm just gonna turn back because I do not think that I did it correctly in the mission editor. But let's provoke and just get down low, and let's see if if we get shot down or what. We have 900 kilograms of fuel left, and I definitely need to go back. And for that I will already now en route, return mode, and I know where it is, so I can go into air to ground mode and squall, and I still have my return or egress direction on my HSI, and I have my targeting system. That is how I use that together. If the Gepard is using optical sights, you most likely do not have time to react down here that low. This is almost a weekend low. It does not look like that they are either started or they just returned or they finished their route and I can't find that spot or yeah, and I see power lines. That means I need to climb. And right now I'm just gonna fly back to Batumi. Or I'm gonna provoke them. I'm gonna fly out to the coast and then alongside the coast. And I need to remember that I'm down here low, so my fuel consumption is a bit higher, actually much higher than up high. And let's practice some low level flying. meters above ground. If I see the tracers, I most likely will die. I do not have reaction time or altitude to do anything about it. One thing I have down here is speed. The turret needs to turn very fast to keep up with me down here. So. How you defeat or combat Tunguskas and Shilkas is a lesson in the A-10s because they are Russian, of course, and this Russian plane. Therefore, I do not feel that you need to know how to engage Tunguskas and Shilkas in the Su-25T. Of course, you can in the multiplayer, that is correct, but yeah. And I do not know if I will make any cadet series on the A10A. I do not know that yet. One thing is for certain that this mission will be in the description below, and you can download it and practice on it. If you have any tactics, any way to do it, any pretty stable way of doing things, please let us know. So, and you can edit the mission all you want. If you're going to upload it, please credit me. So, and right now I do not believe there's any more threats, so I'm changing to nav mode and turning off ECM and DSM. And I see power line to the left here. See, even though we are flying here with 600 kilometers per hour, it is a calm and relaxed flight. It is a nice flight. She is very stable down here. Just don't go too fast because then she will start shaking due to compressibility. And I believe that we are going to do a almost straight in approach. So we want a bit of elbow room. Our weight is low, therefore our approach and touchdown speed can be equally low. You're gonna call in to the ATC.
Дружинник, сотый, возврат.
1-0-0. Дружинник. Следуйте курсом 2-7-3. Удаление 2-0. Давление 7-5-9,2-4.
Bingo fuel.
Посадочный 1-3. Занимайте высоту круга. 1-0-0. Работайте с посадкой.
Runway 13. And we're just going to the landing point directly when we are pretty much lined up. And I need to take care of my speed. Air brakes out. When my speed comes below 400, I will deploy gear. Gear, first step of flaps, throttling up despite having air brakes out, and I'm retracting the air brakes, throttling up a bit more, full flaps.
Дружинник, сотый, разрешите посадку.
Rolling in. Let's see if we die or make a good landing. She's very sluggish.
1-0-0. Дружинник. Проверьте выпуск шасси. Посадочный 1-3.
3 greens on the wheels, full flaps. Need to descend. Throttling up. Now going in for the land. Sweet. Air brakes out. Aero braking. Speed at 200. Brake shoot. Speed is coming down fast.
Fuel 500.
Can it be up?
1-0-0.
Flaps up.
Заруливайте на стоянку.
Disengage brake shoot. Air brakes in. So this was both a seed and dead mission. The first part was a seed mission. All I needed to make the Hawk battery do is just to keep their heads down. But luckily I did kill them, so that is just a bonus. And the dead mission was on the Rapier and Roland. I needed to kill them, not just have their heads in the dirt. And also it was technically also a dead mission on the manpads. Luckily we did attack them and kill them before they could fire back. So that is how I practically employ my weapons against air defense targets. And don't forget that the Gepard is a bad copy of the Tunguska, but how you attack it are just the same. Always utilize every single meter of your weapon's long range. On the Rapier and Roland I would have, for comfort's sake, used launch override and launched the missile at around 10 kilometers, because now I know that the missiles are able to hit targets at that range, and I will utilize that. On the Gepards, I knew that they were only able to shoot back at me from 2 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers, so I could get in closer, and also I could kill them with the rockets if I had to. The Roland and Rapier was suddenly much more dangerous. They were much more dangerous than the Hawk because since the shorter range on the enemy air defense, the less reaction time you have. So therefore their disadvantages is also your disadvantage, but at the same time your advantage, because you could fire your weapons against them before they can fire their weapons against you. And you also saw the effectiveness of the DSM, the pod behind there, the infrared countermeasures pod. You saw how the missile exploded behind me. So it is a very nice pod that has saved me many times. So that is how I practically employ those weapons. If you have any other questions or want to see anything else, let me know. I would gladly do all those experiments for you. So yeah, just throw out what you want to see in the next video, and I will try to